It is Bruins Benders post-game live on the Inside the Rink YouTube channel with Matty and Smitty. Click subscribe. Get your Bruins Benders merch on InsideTheRink.com/Bruins-Benders. Follow us on X at Bruins Benders and also on Instagram, Facebook. And get your subscription to Benders Off Air. It's coming up very soon. ITR Plus by Inside the Rink. At that QR code right there on your screen. We'd love to have you join us in the subscription service. All sorts of great content going to come up. Bruins lose the finale 5-4 in overtime. They do get a point, so they get within one of Philly and Seattle there. But now, that's it.
Yeah, fourth place.
Fourth
worst. So the worst they'll pick in the draft is sixth.
Is 6. Yep, 1-6.
Worst they can.
So there you go.
Worst they can do.
Yeah,
love it.
1-6. Question will be, who was going to make that pick?
Who is going to make that pick? It is a question, I suppose.
Smatterings and rumors going around.
There are some rumors. It's supposed to happen tomorrow, if it happens at all. I am very, very suspect of those rumors.
Yeah.
I do not believe them for one single second.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will continue to be Sweeney and Neely, especially after Charlie Jacobs gave him the old vote of confidence.
Evo, yeah,
the old well done.
Well done.
Keep going. You'll be fine. So, I think it's going to be Sweeney and Neely making the pick. I think they should follow the fucking central scouting. It came out today. The final reviews came out today. A couple of movers, couple of shakers.
I love me some movers and shakers.
Yeah, James Higgins from BC is his final ranking is 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Who is
How
it?
about Jake O'Brien at 4?
Jake O'Brien up to 4.
Climbing the charts
from 8 or 9. So we were, or at least I was. I mean, I don't know. I'd heard some rumors that he was going to maybe move up into the top 5, and he did, because he's a 17-year-old who was playing in the good junior hockey league there, and ended up with 92 or 98 points or something as a 17-year-old. So, good things from Jake O'Brien. So, I don't think the Bruins can go wrong if they pick center. I really don't. I mean, I
think there's a few there, and I think they're all pretty, even or similar or whatever. No one really jumps out at you, other than maybe Misa a little bit, but
Misa does, and I think Schneider and Schaefer. Schaefer and Misa are the top 2. I think pretty set in stone, and then after that, there's your O'Briens and your Higgins and Frundell and Desnoyers, and so there, you should get a pretty good player there, like a really good player. You should, as long as you don't fuck it up.
You should. You should.
You should.
You should not have to reach for anybody.
You should not have to reach. There should be no reaching involved. No reaching involved. If can you imagine how much I would lose my mind if they went outside the top 10 to make that pick? If they picked somebody who was like 17th, how crazy I would go. I would lose my motherfucking mind. I would lose it. I would lose it.
Yeah, you would.
Fox Guy 67's having tonight's sip is Lagunitas IPA, and I am doing an IPA. I'm doing Lops Brewing's Benders.
Ooh, the Benders Bar Down IPA, the New England IPA. Delicious.
There you go.
Delicious. Yeah, we gotta get that going for next season again.
Yep.
So you know what really kind of pisses me off?
Everything
pisses me off. Other than everything, here's one of the things. So Joe Haggerty's on X today, right? And Frank Saravelli comes out and says the sources say there's no changes are expected in the Bruins front office, yada yada. So Joe Haggerty says this tracks with everything I have heard. Don Sweeney is entering the last year of his current contract next season. Here's what pisses me off. Personally, I think he deserves a crack at righting the Bruins ship after making some shrewd deals to amass assets at the NHL trade deadline. First of all, explain to me, other than maybe Will Zellers and a first-round pick, who the real assets are. I can tell you who the ass hat is, and then tell me this Sweeney business about, well, he was just hired, and then a couple of weeks later they draft, and look at all you had to do, as you said, even if first of all, Don Sweeney was the assistant GM. Don't give me the shit that he didn't know the prospects. I mean, that's his job. Evan Gold.
Don't pretend like he walked in the door with no idea who anyone was.
He was the assistant GM.
Tell me that.
He wasn't working at IBM.
I don't want to hear it. He wasn't working at fucking, Annie's fucking,
No.
He wasn't working at Annie's Pretzels in the fucking mall. He wasn't working at Orange Julius making fucking shakes. He wasn't.
He was the assistant GM. First of all,
you'd think he would be in the goddamn room when that shit was going on.
Evan Gold's all around North America right now, scouting people.
Yeah.
So he's the assistant GM.
Talk about Joe Haggerty, I think.
Okay, go ahead.
Did he say that the sources he was snagging this from was at Bruins morning skate practice?
He did not say that. And look,
no, I don't think there's those guys.
This is so I want to be. I don't want to be, but I want to steal what Joe Haggerty is doing. This is my version of being an insider, and I'm going to steal it because he basically just said he believes everything that Frank Saravelli said. So that's me. I'm insider adjacent. So whenever you hear something now, say, me and Frank Saravelli's sources fucking confirm whatever Frank Saravelli says. And that's what I'm going to do.
That's what he's saying. This checks out.
This checks out from my sources and everything that Frank found out because he really knows what he's talking about.
Frank found out.
I mean, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Please put insider adjacent in your Twitter bio.
I am going to put it in my Twitter bio.
Oh my God,
very
soon. Put it in there.
Maybe right now.
God almighty.
Well, no, not right now because we're busy. But very soon.
By the end of
the night, I will be insider adjacent.
Let's stop with the Sweeney wasn't prepared thing. If he wasn't prepared, it's his own fucking fault. First.
Yeah.
And secondly, just go through Central Scouting. Don't pick Zach Senyshyn.
Don't.
Like, here's the thing: if you're not that prepared, why are you reaching? Like, how would you know?
Exactly.
How would you know
if you're not prepared? If you're not prepared, then just follow the fucking sheet in front of you.
Right.
They hand it to all the teams. Everybody gets one. Just follow the goddamn sheet, and you have Kyle Connor. Pretty good.
I'm with you. Like, how would you know that Zach Senyshyn might be a steal if you didn't do any homework? I mean, for God's sakes. Like, the first round hasn't been terrific. He had some late first rounders. I get it. First round hasn't been great. Second round, not bad. Not bad.
Hazik says maybe Sweens can't read. I mean, he did go to Harvard, so that could be true.
Yeah, but you know what? They let the athletes through. Gentlemen C, they used to call it. Give them the gentleman C. Hey, Nutty Marat Husnadinov gets a goal tonight. He hadn't done much in the last few games. He's back at it with a goal tonight. So that's nice to see.
To me, why does it keep happening?
Sweens just cut the fucking cord on you.
I swear to God, I say enough bad things about the Bruins. And
and they're finally like, okay, that's enough. Yeah, that's enough.
I'm gonna get my internet.
Well, I was talking about Nutty. Nutty scored a goal tonight on a beautiful play by Fabian Lysell. Hustle play, great pass. Like, that's the type of play. And we've talked about Lysell getting better and better and better. I wish he had 2 months ago to start this thing, and then maybe he'd be great by now.
Yeah, would have been.
But hey,
more time.
Great.
I mean, it's the same thing you said in the text thread when we were talking before the game. Why was Patrick Brown getting all these games? And John Farinacci comes up and scores game one. We've been clamoring for that guy forever. He finally gets a chance and scores in his first game. Patrick Brown, skating around. I mean, hard worker, plugger, does all the right things. But I mean, for the love of God, he's not going to be part of the team and the roster going forwards. See what you have in some of these guys, see what you have. And maybe you have something in Farinacci. Maybe you have something in Lysell. Maybe you have a good two-way center in Fraser Minton. Kuznetsov scored tonight. Maybe you got something there. Like, you got to let them play a little bit, If you're going to let Lohrei, Mr. Masters, work through his mistakes, then you're going to have to let some of these other forwards do it. It's like, I don't understand why they would let a defenseman do it, who's the last line of defense, and is coughing pucks up all over the damn place in the defensive zone. Why they'll let him work through the mistakes, but not a forward who can make a mistake in the offensive zone that's 200 feet away from your net. But, that you can't do that. That's frowned upon. Can't have any offensive creativity. Can't do anything in the offensive zone and make a mistake and it might end up in your net. Well, Mason Lohrei stepped in front of his own net with the goalie not in it, and they poked the puck into the net. So, there's worse things.
John Beecher went out 77 games and did next to nothing.
Yeah. Scratched twice in a row.
But here's the thing about that. Here's the thing. That now I might think that they may not resign him. Why would he be scratched the last two games?
Because they're Frog's fat ass.
I mean, why would he be, though?
I'll tell you what. Here's the thing. And this goes for anybody on the roster right now. Did you miss him? Did you miss him?
I didn't even know he wasn't playing until you texted. Yeah.
Did you miss him?
I didn't know.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
You don't really see him much.
Right. So does he offer anything to your team? No, he doesn't. If you don't miss him and he's not playing, then see you later.
Who scored? John Farinacci.
Yeah, you don't need him. No. The guy that subbed in for you scored a goal. And Farinacci had what? Did he have more than 10 this year?
He did.
There you go.
Farinacci was one of the most consistent players on the Providence Bruins all season long.
He had more than 10. Riley Duran had more than 10. Both those guys can fill in for Beecher as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I thought for a while, as you know, that the Bruins are going to give Beecher one more year and one more crack at it. Now I don't know.
I hope
because
you're
scratching in the last two games, boy, maybe they are going to move on from him. Maybe they were looking at Farinacci and being like, well, we might need someone because Beecher's not coming back. This year he had 9 goals and 28 assists. Last year he had 12 goals, 26 assists. So he's about the same. He had 10 goals at Harvard 1 year, 2 years, 2 different years.
Farinacci.
Farinacci. Yeah. So
there you go.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe Beach isn't.
I hope he's not.
Did you say something?
I don't want him. I hope he isn't.
I don't either. You don't want him anywhere near your hockey club, and I'm kind of right with you on that one. How can I miss you if you don't go away? Says Y2 Jones. It's a very valid point. It's hard to miss people when they're right there all the fucking time. Yes, as who was it who just said? Zach Hayes says, how many combined wasted games on Tufte, Wahlstrom, Jones, Brown, Lettieri, Beecher, etc.? Holy shit.
A lot.
Holy shit. That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah.
It is.
That's a lot. Zach Hayes also says, imagine a wasted season and we still don't know what we have in Lysell. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. How would you know what you have in Farinacci if you don't play him to the last game of the season? Now he scored. Now what? Okay, now you're going to the off season. What do you think of him? Is he a guy you're going with? Or you have to upgrade there? I say don't, because you know my stance on fourth liners.
Oh, and it's correct. And it's
go with what you have. You can get one at the deadline. You can get one in December. You can get one in November.
You can get a third liner too.
Yes, you can get bottom 6 guys whenever the hell you want.
I've been telling you all along, they're building the fucking roster the wrong way. They just
backwards.
They are. They sign their third and fourth line guys first, and then leave themselves no money to sign the top end talent, and then they got to go bargain shopping, and it sucks, and the roster sucks, and you end up with what you have this year. Stop fucking doing that. Stop doing it. Stop doing it.
Andrew Paterkin says Neely picks Jamie Wacketoff out of Tier 3 Finnish League. Yeah, that's about right. So about Neely. So here's the thing. Michigan,
two T's,
yeah,
two T's, two K's.
So here's what Michigan Mike says. Sweens was seen scouting Desnoyers the other day. He's been doing a lot of scouting, so he's probably not gone. Here's my theory that I saw on X. I stole it from somebody. I don't know who it was, but here's what made sense to me. Cam Neely resigns tomorrow. Don Sweeney bumps up to president, and Evan Gold is the new GM. That's what I think it might be, and then the coaching position opens up. I think that's what they say tomorrow. I really do. Now, I may be wrong, but I think there's something there with somebody, some sort of movement, and I think Neely resigning, or maybe not resigning, but becoming the Harry Sinding consultant for the rest of his life is probably what might happen. And I think Sweens goes to team pres, and I think Evan Gold is GM.
I mean, it's all in the family, so it's the same shit. So I'm not particularly excited about that. Unless Evan Gold's going to come in with sweeping changes, I'm not particularly excited about that at all. And Connor wants to chime in.
Yeah.
Jumping back to Zach's comment here, the answer is 167 games, 25 for Vinny Lettieri, 78 for Beecher, 15 for Patrick Brown, 6 for a friend of the show, Riley Tufty. Hello, Riley. Thanks for watching. And this one shocked me the most. 43 games for Oliver Wahlstrom.
That's a lot more than I thought. That's half the season.
Shit. Oh, we forgot about Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson.
Oh, Tyler Johnson. Yeah, throw him in there. Remember him? That seems like 3 years ago.
It really does.
Wow. Tyler Johnson. I forgot all about him. Wow. Remember him? How about Jeremy? How about Jeffrey VL?
Yeah.
Throw him in there.
Yeah, Jeffrey VL. Who else?
Jesus. There's a lot of guys.
Yep.
My God. 78 for Beecher.
Anytime this year?
Who?
Joey Abate.
Joey Abate. Hey, they had to get him in those preseason games though. Thank God he got his fine tuning.
We need to do the Osterley, Ian Mitchell.
Yeah. Callahan. Yeah.
We need to do
9 games for Tyler Johnson and 5 games for Jeffrey VL.
5 for Jeffrey VL.
Okay. 14. So
Jesus Christ. So here's the thing. Okay. You went out and got Jones and Tufty and Koepke and these guys, right? Because you had to. You felt you had to. Mm-hmm. Yet all these guys got all these games, which is what I'm fucking saying. Yeah. Like, if you just go with 3 guys and you go in the fourth line with 3 guys, and if you had to be Kastelic and 2 other guys, fine. But then that's it. And then go get a guy in December, November, December, whatever, January, whatever. Sure. And go get a guy if you really need it. That's why I'm saying you went and made it a point to go get all these guys who were bottom 6 guys, and then you still had a carousel of guys playing. Yeah,
they thought, or at least early on, up until 4 Nations or whatever, they thought they could win, which was a mistake. But after the trade deadline, there is zero excuse to not have the Farinaccis and Durans and Merkulovs and Lysells up right away. There's no excuse, because now, even though those guys have played, do you have any sense of they know what they're getting from those guys? No, they don't. None. Because they haven't played enough games.
No.
So you still don't have any idea about those guys, which is terrible, which they should know by now on a bad team. They should know whether or not, we believe in this guy. He's going to be part of our team. He's going to be part of the future. That's a guy that we'll have a spot for. They have no idea about any of them because they played 1 game or 2 games or 3 games or 1 game. And it's a joke.
It is.
Their way that they develop and the way they try to build the roster. It's ridiculous.
So now they're going to go out and get 3 or 4 fucking fourth liners again. Yeah. And then waste that money. Like, all that money adds up. $1 million here, $1.5 million here, $1 million here. It adds up to $4 to $5 million on guys you don't really need, you don't know if you need, and then the Max Jones of the world and those guys don't even play.
I mean, would you rather? He was trying to do the next, Morgan Geekie thing. I think, like throwing a bunch of shit against the wall. And
Max Jones, I think he thought would be Geekie. You know. Yeah. speed and size and
right, and trying to do that thing. Like, fine, you hit on Geekie, great, love it. Now you still got to sign him now, so that thing's in front of you. But enough guys that they would you rather have one 20 goal scorer, a 25 goal scorer, or those 5 clowns? Like, come on. You would have a little more scoring depth if you spent all that money on one guy who was pretty good instead of 5 guys who we hope one of them can turn into something maybe. Like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it is. It is. No, I hear you. White Tree Jones says, did the Bruins lock up 4th? They did lock up the 4th draft position heading into the lottery. They can draft anywhere from 1 to 6. He said, might as well add Jared Duran and Roberto Duran. F it, throw in Duran. Hey, Sweens, is there something I should know? Yeah, we tried to see Duran in Manchester. Epic fail.
That was an epic fail, but it also did lead to the Montreal trip. So
it did lead to the brainchild.
It wasn't all bad.
It wasn't. We pivoted like we always do.
Yeah. Pivot.
Macaulay Martin says, I mean, realistically, what would the season have looked like if they called up Lysell 2 months ago? I mean, you don't know. Now, people can argue, well, Lysell needed that extra time. I mean, I guess. Did he? I mean, what did he do from November to January or whatever it was, December to February, that showed that, okay, now it's time? Like, what did he do? Tell me what he did to make it now. Okay, now we're going to do it. So I say throw him in there earlier.
Yeah, I don't know why they waited to the last week of the season or last 2 weeks of the season. Doesn't make any sense to me.
They definitely waited till past March 7th because they didn't want to bench any of those guys that they went with. Like, they don't want to bench veteran guys. They want to play the guys who make the money. I mean, that's what it is. Jeremy Jacobs is going to say to Don Sweeney, why is this guy making $5.5 million and not playing?
Yeah,
that's what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean that's
why it is.
Well, that's the way it goes. Like once the general manager signs a guy to a contract like that, he's not sitting.
No, he's not.
He should, and they should, but that's not the way that it works. And Connor wants to chime in.
All right, so I just wanted to piss Smitty off so all the listeners could get a good rage bait here. So I added on VL, Tyler Johnson, and Max Jones
to
the list here. And I also tallied up their combined points for the list.
Can't wait.
So 188 games between Vinny Lettieri, Beecher, Brown, Wahlstrom, Tufte, VL, Johnson, and Jones.
Can I guess?
You can guess how many points they have.
I'm going to say under 20.
You would be wrong. They have 25 combined points.
That's
Johnny Beecher is the highest scoring player on this list with 11.
Yeah,
I 78 games.
Yeah, I forgot about
Wahlstrom 6 in 43. Lettieri 5 in 25. Tyler Johnson had 2 in 9. And Patrick Brown 1 in 15.
Oliver Wahlstrom had 6 points in 43 games.
Yeah.
That's fucking putrid. I mean, he should be out of the league. Jesus Christ.
He is out of the league.
Well, he is now.
That's very similar pace.
He's help the Providence Bruins win a Calder Cup is what he's going to do.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to do. Robert Giuliano says we should have a draft lottery party.
That's an excellent idea, Robert.
And Robert,
maybe you should be our assistant producer.
We will. That will happen. It may be just an episode like this, but
we might just have a party when when's the draft? Is the draft lottery fucking televised?
Yeah.
No one in the NHL. Jesus
I think
Christ.
it is televised. Yeah.
I think it's during like one of the intermissions between games of one of the playoff games.
But it's pre-televised. So if it gets leaked like it did last year and they spoil it, it could be all for naught. But they pre-record it with people in the room.
Right. Yeah. So it's either going to be May 5th or 6th. That would be towards a conclusion of the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs if there's at least one series that goes a full 7 games. So it's either the 5th or 6th of May, says TSN's Chris Johnston.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I'd be up for that. We'll throw it out there. Matthew Curtis actually corrected us. Philadelphia has to win in regulation. That can't lose in regulation tomorrow or Thursday, whenever the hell they play, because they are tied right now. So Philadelphia has to lose.
They are Thursday.
Can't
at
lose in
Buffalo
regulation.
Sabres.
Has to get in overtime or win at the Buffalo Sabres.
Why? Because they have the same amount of points.
They have the same amount of points, and the same amount of wins. But the Bruins win the tiebreaker if they don't get any point.
Same amount of regulation wins too?
Yep, 33. Yeah. So that's that. So the Flyers, big Flyers fans, got to get into overtime at the very least or win.
Oh no, Boston has 26 regulation wins and the Flyers have 21.
Yeah. So the Flyers have to win to get.
Yeah.
Flyers have to get a point.
Yes.
Get a point. If they don't get a point, then the Bruins will be in the 5th slot.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be 8.5% to the number 1 pick overall. Thank you, Matthew Curtis. Thank you, Bruins 1970. Thanks for a great season, boys. You've been very therapeutic to us all. I'm thankful. We're thankful for all of you. It's been an unbelievable season. Jesus, it's really exploded. And we really credit you guys for having this be lots of fun. We did 81 of the 82 games.
We did.
And then we did USA Canada final. So we did 82 games this year.
We did.
And no other fucking podcast did 81 postseason Bruins games this year.
Oh, but some losers will do a live stream during the last game of the year.
Yeah, do the live streams and all the other fucking bullshit.
Not even fucking Nesson did because there was some national games.
Right.
These guys more right here did more post games than Nesson did.
Anybody
in the world.
Than anybody. Even Nesson. Yep.
And we did. More than Nesson.
Unbelievable is right.
Nesson.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I mean, if we had a life between the two of us, we'd be dangerous. Even when we went away.
Whoa. You can't say that you don't have a life. I've seen pictures all over social media of you out living.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. When we try to get it done, we can. It's exhausting.
Connor can't have a life either because he's filled in for both of us on occasion. So, without producer Connor, we don't pull that shit off. So,
yeah. We don't. I mean, Connor's been a huge addition to our pod across the board.
To the
oh my god, yeah.
To producer Connor,
definitely getting a raise.
Fucking kidding me?
Producer Connor's holding this shit together.
He does. He really does.
With chewing gum and duct tape.
Yeah,
he's a man.
He's the straw that stirs the drink, the sip.
I just am staying around now so I can see Matty slurp some muscles down on the
yeah, I'm gonna slurp some muscles down on the. I'm gonna do some video vignettes.
Dan Maynard says, "And isn't it funny that Smitty's rants and screaming is therapeutic? Says a lot about this team. Post games wouldn't be the same without angry Smitty. And look, I will continue to find things that this team annoys me about. And
he would rant in a 65 win season.
I did rant in a 65 game.
Yes.
Yes. Look, I am, as much as I want to pretend that I am a positive person, and generally speaking, I'm pretty easygoing and I'm pretty easy to be around, I would say. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
He is. No, he really is. He really is.
But when it comes to sports and especially the Bruins, I am pessimistic by nature. And this team gets under my skin like no other. They really do. We'll tell a story probably on Benders off air sometime about the Stanley Cup final against the Blues in 2019. But I caused great harm to my son's school. We had to do a group project at school, and it was during the Stanley Cup final against the Blues. And I was screaming obscenities at the television and ruined his project more than once. So
really nice.
Yeah, he had to do a video.
And you're like, mama.
Yeah. I think it was when they tripped.
Achari. Yeah.
Achari in the corner.
Yeah, the famous trip. Yeah.
The trip in the corner, and I lost my mind.
Oh, you did, yeah.
And it was something else. My wife was yelling at me. My son was yelling at me. His friend was like, "What the hell's going on?" Like,
yeah, it's a Bruins house.
Yeah, this is Bruins house.
Bruins
so,
house.
yeah, you gotta learn to live with it. Gotta learn. A little bit.
You broke many a baseball cap backing with the fucking firing at the television.
Firing my
on those plastic
TV.
things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The lottery is Tuesday at 6:30 Eastern and airs live on ESPN and ESPN Plus May the 6th. Says Mick Rakinovich. Thanks, Mick. Appreciate it,
Mick.
Tight. Tiebreaker right now because we beat Philly 2 out of 3 regular season. There you go. Thanks for the lives, boys, says Sean Michael. You're definitely going to lean on you pricks this long and brutal off season.
Yeah.
Hey, we would never any other way.
Yeah.
Nothing like leaning on some pricks in the off season. What else we got here?
We're gonna have some Benders off air stuff this off season. So we'll have our regular episodes that you guys can follow, but if you want a little bit extra,
Benders
off air and ITR Plus and
on
the ranking website, and we'll have all kinds of extra shit on there where we're just kind of goofing around and having a good time. So
here, let me just add some color here. Matty and Smitty used to do a show called Sports and Shit before producer Connor probably existed.
Mhm.
And this is essentially going to be a rerun of that, but a little bit better. And I've been seeing some of the topics, and you're probably going to laugh your balls off the entire time. And if not, you might be slightly offended, and that's okay too.
Hey, whatever gets you to subscribe. Some people like to be offended. You know what I mean? They like a little what for? A little how do you do? You know?
Little bit on the edge. On the edge.
The bleeding is over, says Travis Hauer. Trav, good to see you again. Season over. Season over. Hey, October the 7th.
You know what I love right now more than anything else in the entire world is that Trav commented on YouTube and not Facebook. Love that.
Boy, Trav.
Appreciate you, Trav.
But that's because we fucking gave YouTube the boot, those fucking communists.
We did. We just don't even Facebook. We don't even post to Facebook anymore.
Return to the playoffs next season, says Trav, and I appreciate that. Trav. I hope so.
They're gonna try.
Well, they're going to try. I hope they tank for Gavin McKenna next season. But I will. If they make it, we'll see Trav, streaking around Canada buck naked. So it'll be only good things for our friends north of the border.
Yeah, we can definitely find teams to rant about in the playoffs, Matthew Curtis.
Oh yeah,
we can rant about the Florida Panthers and their bullshit stuff again, Marchand included. We can rant about the Canadians if they get in. Canadians, if they lose and Columbus wins the last game, Columbus sneaks in and Canadians fold. That's a huge game Thursday.
Huge game.
At home against the Hurricanes. Not an easy one.
No, I'm going to laugh my fucking balls if Montreal misses out of the playoffs in the last day.
I'm telling you. You know what? I think Dallas might do a little something this year.
Dallas is good. Yeah, Dallas is good.
Yeah, I know people don't really talk about them much.
No.
I think Dallas might get there. In the East, I think Toronto. I've said this the last couple of years, but at some point, Toronto's going to get to a Stanley Cup final, and it might be this year.
It could be.
It might be.
I was looking at the odds by someone who posted who they think like the final four will be in each conference, and it was Washington, Toronto, Florida, and Carolina, I believe, in the East. Mm-hmm. And in the West, it was Dallas, Edmonton, Colorado, Winnipeg, and I don't remember who the fourth one was. Oh, the Kings. Not the Kings. Maybe it wasn't the Kings. Yeah, I
think you listed four. Edmonton.
Kings play the Oilers in the first round, so it's going to be
Edmonton, Dallas, Winnipeg, and Colorado.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. I don't know, but something about Edmonton this year. I think they might fall flat.
Yeah, I think the Kings might in the first round.
They could. Now they're pissed at them because of what happened last game.
Yeah,
where they put the B team out there and then started trying to hurt guys.
Yeah,
and it was a little nasty. That's going to be a nasty series.
It is going to be a nasty series.
It really is.
Fun to watch.
Yeah. Heat Grim. Hey guys, I'm a Stars fan who randomly found you guys after Dallas won 7-2, hoping for in-depth analysis. Stayed for whatever the fuck this, I guess. Heat, thanks so much. Appreciate you hanging with us. Hey, good luck to you guys, the Stars.
Yeah.
Why not, Dallas? Tyler Seguin, is he healthy?
I think he's just about ready to come back. I think they might have him for the playoffs. I think.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I hope so. That'd be nice for him to win in 11 and then win in 25.
Sure. Yeah,
would be nice. And this little bookends to a pretty good career for him. Allmark is terrible in the playoffs. Hasmick says Leafs will win round 1. Yeah, I think the Leafs. I really think the Leafs might. They're hot right now too, and they're talented. And the goalie situation seems to be, much better now.
Well,
they added Carlo.
They're doing a tandem thing though there.
Yeah, I know that might come back to bite them.
Yeah,
again.
it could.
But Stolarz was hurt for a bit a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
and then they went tandem again, and I mean,
they got to figure out. They got to decide on who it is, but they've been pretty good 5-on-5 like the last few years.
Oh yeah,
but they just gotta, their stars gotta step up when it matters. I feel like Ottawa's going to give them a series just because they're young and dumb enough not to know any better. And if Allmark plays halfway decently, I think they'll give them a series. I think it's going to be a good series.
Yeah. What I really like to look at when I'm looking at these things is who has the best road records. Because the best road teams are a good indication of how they'll do in the playoffs. Because you're going to have to win hard road games. And the teams who aren't great on the road, may not have, like Montreal's not great on the road. They're under 500 on the road. So those are the types of teams I look at. Good road teams in the regular season. That case says Tampa Bay is going to the finals. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Tampa Bay is 18-4 on the road. So that would disqualify them.
Yeah, it would disqualify them. Kings are a sleeper, says Vice President.
Best teams in the East as far as road record goes. Toronto, 25-13-3.
Okay.
Washington, 24-12-3. New Jersey, 23-16-2. I think 24-16-2 after tonight. And then after that, like Florida's 20-19-2. New York Rangers are eliminated. They're 20-17-4. After that, like no one really. Teams are 500 or worse.
Okay. Wow. So Toronto and Washington are up there. Washington kind of stumbling. There's a lot of Ovechkin kind of focus. They got bored, I think, too. So it'll be interesting to see if they can ramp that thing up again.
Yeah. The other one is Jersey. Jersey's a good road team.
Jersey's a good road team. Okay. Jersey's got Carolina. They might beat Carolina because Carolina kind of stumbles here and there.
They do on the road. They're not good at all on the road, but they're one of the best home teams in the league. 31
Tampa is too.
At home.
I think Tampa's like 28-8 or something. Tampa's really good at home. I did a game preview with them. 29-8. Yeah, 29-8. Sagan will be back, says Heat Grim. Heiskanen is hopeful for a mid-series return. It'll be a big pickup for them.
It will be.
Columbus did win tonight. I actually think they will take the Habs out. They might. They play. Who do they play? Columbus.
Columbus has. It's not anybody.
Not a good team.
No.
Yeah. Philly's at Buffalo.
Islanders at home.
Islanders at home. Wow. Yikes.
Islanders.
Can you imagine if the Habs don't make it?
Montreal has what? It has Carolina on the road.
Carolina at home. At home.
Oh, Carolina at home.
Yeah.
Connor wants to talk.
Okay.
Nope. My bad.
Okay. Great. He's got quick trigger finger. Jets have the
drink while Connor's. I thought he was going to talk.
He wanted to take a quick sip. Jets have the President's Trophy curse. They are out in the second round. Yeah, the Jets started out like a house of fire this season.
They did.
Have been pretty good all year, but there's something, there's always something about the Jets. Like, can you see the Jets winning? I don't know.
I mean, they have a pretty good team. They really don't have many holes. The Jets, they really don't.
No, they don't. They don't. And they have the Hart Trophy winner, right? Potentially,
yeah.
Yeah, Hellebuck. So, maybe. Bruins 1970. So, Matty, you are calling a front office shakeup tomorrow? I'm telling you right now, I'm going to go with Cam Neely resigns or goes to the consultant, whatever the hell that is. Sweeney to president, Evan Gold to GM, and they open up the coaching search. That's my guess.
Yeah,
it's a little bold, but Neely will be 60 in June. I'm
feel like
thinking maybe.
Go ahead.
And he's kind of an older 60. I mean, he's high intensity. He's,
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for him to. Maybe he said, you know what, I'll move on. Let Donnie come up here and give Evan a chance, and if that doesn't work, blow the whole thing up the following year. I don't know. I mean, I think maybe he's going to give one for the team.
Maybe he will.
Yeah. I don't know about this. What do you feel about the Chara to GM thing? I don't think that's happening.
I don't think Chara will step in to be GM.
Maybe assistant GM.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
I was going to say he could be
Evan Gold,
assistant GM to Evan Gold, or he could be like, I don't know what they call him, like a special assistant to the general manager, like one of those.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Or he kind of learns a job, learns on a job type of a deal where he could potentially step in at some point down the road if he wanted to. So I could see something like that happening 100%, where he's kind of an advisor, to the front office. Sure. But it's not really a shakeup, because it's same fucking guys. It's just the different titles. So
right, it's giving Evan probably a little more pull, but I still think Sweeney is a control freak. I still think that's part of the issue. I still think that Sweeney will have a hand in who gets in the lineup and who gets scratched and who are you going to lean on with certain young players and all that stuff. I still think that his presence will be felt there.
I hope as the president of the team, he shouldn't be involved.
He shouldn't be. He should be doing other things.
Like, get out of the way, dude. Just
he should get out of the way. Yeah.
Get out of the way. Get out the way.
But Dan Maynard says, will Thursday's episode be covering all this management stuff? Yes, we're going to record tomorrow. And whatever announcement happens tomorrow.
When is the announcement? Do we know?
I don't know. Usually they do like an 11. I haven't gotten the email yet about the press and media. Usually it's like 11:30 noon is their sweet spot with this type of stuff.
Okay.
So I'm guessing around there, Eastern time. Jay Leach's new coach, says Travis Hauer. I think that's the guy, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's Jay Leach. If you follow the history, it was Bruce Cassidy who came in while Claude Julien was almost on his way out. Cassidy got the job. They hired Jay Leach out of nowhere for some reason this year. Mm-hmm. It's same track. So that's what I'm thinking.
Same track. And it probably will be Jay Leach. And like I said, retreads. It's all the same fucking guy.
It's just the same incestuous thing with the Bruins. It always has been. It's a small organization. They keep it small. Keep it tight.
I heard somebody mention today Claude coming back. What do you think about that thing?
Yeah, Claude, and we've talked about this on the pod. Yeah. This team that they had this year probably would have been better off playing his type of style. More of his style. Because they had trouble scoring. So try to win 1-0. Like really try to win 1-0. And if he was there, then maybe they would have been a little bit better off with a defensive structure anyway. And it might have helped a guy like Lohrei and those guys. But, look, I don't love Julian's thing. Julian's, I think it's kind of boring hockey, and it's defensive hockey and all that. But sometimes it's necessary if you don't have the talent, and I think it might have been a better than the Jim Montgomery. Let's go north and south at every turn. Yeah. Like that didn't fit. So maybe it's D to D, work it up slowly, methodically, and then go get it toward the net and try to make a play.
Yeah.
Maybe that's more of what they needed.
Or
I don't want to see it, but
Yeah. Or as producer Connor said, maybe Claude comes back just to coach the D.
Well, maybe he's an assistant coach in the D, which they could use because their defense has gone south in a hurry.
Their details defensively suck right now.
Yeah, they do. Their details are terrible. But it all started with Montgomery, where there wasn't much of detail. It was about get the puck and move it forward at all costs. Remember the beginning of the year where they were throwing the puck up the boards to a guy facing his own net and getting caved in time after time, and then icings and turnovers.
That was fun.
That play is not working. Like they've scouted it, Jimmy. Like do something else. Top Jimmy. He's the king. Christ. I mean, my God. That's another thing about this year that drives me nuts. The whole Montgomery thing. And everybody's still like, when they won 12 in a row, 10, 12 in a row. Yeah, he's a fun-ass guy when you're winning. The Bruins won 65 games with him as coach. It was fun as hell. But he admitted it. He didn't coach that team much. Like he said it. He said the words.
I haven't changed lines a lot this year.
Yeah, he doesn't do much of anything this year.
No.
You know, and then he changed the lines every fucking shift.
Yeah. He changed the lines every shift, and then he played pocket pool for 3 weeks and then got fired.
Like 3 weeks and then get fired. And then people are like, boy, he got a raw deal. No. At the end, he didn't handle it professionally.
Oh, he did not at all handle it.
So he deserved to go at the end.
Yeah.
Did he deserve not to get a contract and all that stuff? You can debate that. Like you can debate that whole thing. But at the end of the day, when you act like an asshole, you become an asshole. That's what works. That's what happens.
It is. And look, and that might fall onto upper management. That might be Sweeney's problem, that he brought him back when they thought they were going to go in a different direction with the roster. And Montgomery was like, I don't want to coach these fucking guys. I don't want to coach Riley Tufte and, Bruins Benders. We love Riley Tufte, but
we love Tufte.
Didn't love Tufte at all.
And we love Tufte.
Or Max Jones.
Tufte follows us on X. So
yeah, he does.
Maybe he watches occasionally. Hi, Riley.
Maybe he does. Hi, Riley. Yeah. Big Riley Tufte fans.
Oh yeah. Sure.
So I feel like he might have got a raw deal out of that thing, but at the end of the day, like, he made his own bed there. Like he was kind of just out of it, kind of disengaged towards the end, and it's his own fucking fault. So
yeah. I'll tell you what, there's another good point from Michigan Mike. Like Julian, coached Chara quite a bit. So if Chara's assistant GM, maybe they do bring Julian in as an assistant coach. Maybe they do. I wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't hate it at all.
Get a veteran guy who can coach defense. Sure.
What do you think about the other names thrown around? Mike Sullivan or
Tockett's going to Philly. I think that's going to happen. Sully, I don't know. I think he's probably going to get canned. I don't know. I mean, it might be one of those where he takes a year off. I have no idea. I don't love the whole, like, look, I don't mind Sully. I didn't mind it when he was here, but Charlie McAvoy's father-in-law, and can we be done with all that, like, buddy system fucking?
Maybe not.
Can we not be? Can we just be done with that shit? Like, get a guy in here who's going to hold some people accountable, get people to play hockey. You know what I mean? Mick Rakonovich again. The top 5 betting odds: Joe Sacco 1, Jay Leach 2. In the top 5 was Mark Savard at 5. Joe Sacco, you know what? We talked about it. I wouldn't be surprised if he was brought back next year if they knew they were going to be bad. They might give young kids a go next year.
MO-Car the fuck out of that thing and play all the young kids.
Yeah.
Save your money for Eichel in 2 years.
Save your money.
That's what I want them to do.
If you can't get Marner or Ehlers maybe Ehlers. If you can't get one of those two guys, I wouldn't get anybody of substance, like who makes tons of money. I wouldn't do it.
Save the money for Eichel. Save for Eichel and tank for McKenna. Because if you end up doing that thing, then you're in very good shape moving forward. Very good shape.
Imagine if you got Schaefer and McKenna. Jesus. You might end up with Makar and McKinnon.
Maybe
1 year after, like 2 years in a row.
Maybe
you might end up with that thing. So, yeah, I mean, look, I don't think they're going to tank, but we'll see.
No, I mean, they're not going to tank. They're going to try to win, especially if Sweeney's involved. But
right.
In my mind, that's what I'd like them to do. I'd like them to, Colorado Avalanche that thing. Give me Makar and McKinnon. Give me Schaefer and McKenna, and let's. Because if you do that thing and you sign Eichel, now you're really good. Like all of a sudden, right away, really good in 2 years. Really good.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm with you. Travis Hauer says, think Brunet can be a poor man's Torrey Krug. Brunet's not super physical. He's decent offensively. He's gotten much better defensively. Just be a good third pair. Put him with Peeke next year.
Tell you what.
I mean,
I like him defensively right now better than Lohrei already.
Yeah, defensively, yeah. I like me better than I like Torrey Krug right now with like one leg.
He's more physical already than Mason Lohrei is.
Yes.
And Mason Lohrei's played 70 whatever games.
1,000%.
It's maddening.
Yes.
Being a guy of that size, not want to bump into people, not even bump into them. It's ridiculous. I need to. Connor, can you look up how many hits Mason Lohrei had this year? Just so I can.
I'm going to guess. I'm going to say 18.
Right before I do that, I was already looking something else for Lohrei. Okay. He is leading the Masters tournament at a -43.
Yes.
And the next one down is Tyler Bertuzzi at a -39.
Yeah.
So it looks like he is taking that one.
Defensive specialist.
Yeah. He's -43. Bertuzzi's -39. Connor Bedard's -38.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Stamkos is on that list. And
he's not had a great year. Yeah.
But yeah, Lohrei's going to win it with the only guy in the 40s. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Did you see Casey Middlestad out there tonight trying to be Mason Lohrei from the bottom of the right wing circle? Just throws the puck directly in front of his own net to the other team.
How many times are you going to do that? Like you mentioned this a couple of post games ago. How many times are you just going to let him do that? Like how many times are you going to see? This is what I mean. Like if you keep doing that, I question whether or not you really get it.
Well,
like, are you willing to not do it?
It wasn't Lohrei. It was Middlestad.
Middlestad's just as bad.
Acting like Lohrei.
He does that all the time. He did that for a goal the other day with Gallagher when we were at the fucking Bruins game. He gave it right to Gallagher in front of the net. Like I could have scored that.
He did.
Like Jesus Christ, dude. I'm down on Middlestat. Like I'm just like, you know what? We don't need another guy like him. You know what I mean? Like he's not tough. He's not physical. He turns the thing over. He falls asleep for shifts on end, and then he'll make a decent play, and you're like, oh, there it is. There's the talent. Yeah, but I don't want to coax talent out of guys anymore. And I want that. I want to know what I get. I know what I got with Brad Marchand for 14 years. Like I know what I would get every night. I never questioned that he would take a shift off or anything. Never. Yeah, he played hard constantly.
Yeah,
so that's
1970 says I don't want Zacha and Middlestad on the team next year.
Yeah, the combination of the two, I'm with you. I don't want it.
Yeah, or Yoki Haru either. He says, and I liked Yoki Haru early on because he seemed to be able to play with Zadorov a little bit. They had a little chemistry, but watching him defend night in and night out, I'm all set. I'd rather have somebody else. I really would.
They don't battle for space. They don't play along the wall. They don't do those types of things. I'm not. Yoki Haru, see ya. Get another guy. Get a more physical guy. Get a little bit of nasty.
Well, that could be Peeke could be a third pair there, and you need a second pair right D.
I'm telling you right now, Brunet Peeke third line, third pair.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Brunet Peeke.
Are you trading Lohrei for someone?
I would have to see what happened with Hampus Lindholm. Like I would have to have assurances that Hampus Lindholm was going to be at least 85% of what he was. You know what I mean? If he's not, then you might have an issue there.
You're not going to know that. So they'll probably go into the year though with Hampus, Lohrei, and Zadorov on the left side, and Brunet will probably, I think, with his showing in one game, will maybe sew up that like 7th, 8th D man on the left side. But they still need a second pair right D. They need a replacement for Brandon Carlo, and whether it's a good penalty killer or a guy who can play a little offense. You said Neil Pionk to me before. I like that a lot. I also like Fabro with Columbus, who actually scored for them. He's 26. He's a right shot D. I think he's pretty good. Adds a little offense.
Mhm.
He's a BU guy, so fucking
Yep. Oh,
the
there you
Bruins
go.
should love him.
Now you get all sorts of semen
Yeah.
everywhere on that one. Sure.
Yeah. So I think he would be a fit there. So there's some options there, but I'd like to see them upgrade a little bit. And Connor wants to chime in.
I've got your stat for you, Smitty.
Okay.
In the 23-24 season, Mason Lohrei skated in 41 games, and he had 32 hits. This year in the 24-25 season, he skated in 76 games and had an astounding 25 hits.
There you go.
5.
25 hits and 70 in how many games?
72.
76.
76 games. He had 25
In
hits.
41 games, 32 hits last season.
That's interesting, though. Last year, he hit, almost a hit a game. And then this year, nowhere near it. Interesting. Yeah, I find that interesting. I'm all for kicking the tires on Lohrei and see what you can get for him. I just need to know that Hampus Lindholm is okay, at least for the time being. Like, I gotta know he's ready for the season.
Well, so here's the thing. What if you get the number 1 pick? What if you win the lottery? Do you take Schaefer? Or do you take Meese?
I think I'd take Schaefer if the number 1 pick, I would take Schaefer, because if he's everything that people say he is, and the best player in the draft, and maybe not Makar, but he's a top flight D man, like generational D man. Yeah. And I think you put him with McAvoy, and that's very enticing to me because it helps McAvoy a ton.
Yeah. And
you've got this guy, that pair for a while under team control. So that's great. The problem is that next year you pick 15th and you still didn't get your center. So that's the drawback.
It is.
That's the drawback.
It is. I'm kind of with you though. I've been going back and forth, and the Schaefer McAvoy pairing, it really is enticing to me. And I've always said take the best player available. I've always said follow the central scouting thing. So if you're number 1 and he's the best guy, take the best guy. Like, your team sucks, so take the best guy.
Yeah,
take the best guy and figure out the other shit later. Maybe you take Schaefer. Maybe you don't get McKenna, but maybe you get Eichel in free agency in 2 years, and now you have your center. So, there's other ways around it, I guess. But
yeah,
I'm always best player available, especially with a team this bad. So I think that's where I'm falling right now. I don't think they're going to get the number 1 overall pick, but
I don't think so either. But it seems to me that Schaefer is pretty much the number 1 pick.
He is.
Or the
central scout guy. He is like almost certainly an all-star, is what they said in the notes.
Yeah, I didn't hear nothing about other guys.
They didn't say that about anyone else. No. And they said he's probably going to be like a perennial all-star. Okay. That's
in that case.
Yeah. I mean, if you're getting an all-star talent, and that, I mean, there you go.
We have to be consistent in what we said last year when we say get Jake Gensel, because the centers, you're chasing the position,
right?
And the centers aren't as good. Get Jake Gensel instead. So we're going to be consistent and say the centers aren't as good as this big-time defenseman.
Right.
Get to the defenseman, because you need that too, especially if Lindholm has question marks.
Yeah,
like this is perfect.
Well, it also makes Lohrei maybe expendable. It makes maybe Hampus Lindholm expendable, depending on how he does or what he does. Maybe he's comes back from the injury and he's pretty good, but your team's still bad. And Lohrei kind of figures it out a little bit. Maybe that makes you able to trade Hampus Lindholm at the deadline. You save 6 and change or whatever, and you get a first or a second or something, Brandon Carlo-esque for him at the trade deadline. Get some more assets, and then you have Schaefer to go with Zadorov and Lohrei or whatever. So
yeah.
Here's a fun one that Zach Case brought up, and I'm going to give you a little more context in the scenario. If you win the number 1 overall pick as the Bruins, and you're not sure that you need to pick Schaefer, then San Jose comes to you with the 3rd or the 4th pick and says, here you go. Here's the 3rd pick. we'll give you a second this year and an unprotected first round pick next year
Jesus.
in exchange.
I'd probably do
for
that.
it.
I'd
you
probably do
trade
that.
down?
I would do it.
I would
For-
do that just
for
because
an-
unprotected is everything in that.
Unprotected is everything because unprotected gives you a shot at McKenna, and San Jose is not going to be that
They're not
good.
going to be that good. Yeah.
They're
probably going to be in the lottery again.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be better, but they had fucking 30 something points or something. They were by far the worst team in the league.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to be better. So yes, I would take that. In that case, I would take like a Misa this year. I'd get a second round pick this year to go with the one I already have.
Mhm.
And then I'd get the unprotected the following year and have a crack at, if not McKenna, then somebody else pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to have, I'm not going to be great either. So I'm probably going to have, I might have 2 cracks at lottery next year.
Maybe.
And might have 2 picks I could trade for a higher pick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flexibility there. So I'd
There
do
is.
that if it's unprotected.
But the fucking problem with this is, and it drives me nuts, is that the Bruins aren't creative.
No,
The
they
Bruins
aren't.
are not creative
No,
at all.
they will
They've
not
never
do
been
that.
creative. They're not a trade down. They're a reach. They won't trade down and take the guy they want. They won't trade down and take Zach Senyshyn at 70, where he should have been taken, and gain some more assets. They'll just take him. We're at fucking 15.
Yeah.
Because they're assholes.
Mhm.
So the Bruins aren't a creative, like we'll trade down a few spots, pick up a few more assets and get another guy. No, it's we'll fucking take our guy in the wrong spot. That's the
Mhm.
Bruins. We'll take our guy because, well,
In the wrong spot.
in
Yeah.
the wrong spot because somebody might come up and grab him.
Right.
God fucking forbid somebody
Right.
comes up and takes Zach Senyshyn off your fucking hands.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
Right.
the fact that the Bruins, I mean, I would love it. Connor is way more creative. Connor should be the general manager of the Bruins because he's way, way more creative than any of these assholes that are doing it now.
Oh, he does. I mean, you need some a little autistic, and I think that's if I think you throw Connor in there.
Speaking of me being the fucking GM, do we want to talk about Joonas Korpisalo today so I can take my victory lap?
Yes, sure. Let's do it.
Yeah,
We should fucking buy this clown out. And I've said it before.
Mhm.
Say it again
Yeah,
here
he's
for everybody
texted
to
us
hear.
numerous times. Yeah.
Yeah.
That they should buy him out.
Mhm.
And Matty and Smitty gave me shit that over their dead body, the Bruins value 2 goaltenders too
They
much.
do value 2
And
goaltenders.
then
Oh, they
bada
have,
bing, a bada boom. Here we
Mm.
come today. Joonas Korpisalo's pissed at the Boston Bruins. And here we go again. Buy this motherfucker out.
So that came out today in the Ty Anderson podcast there, where he said that Korpisalo was upset about lack of playing time. He's played 27, and Swayman played 55, which I think is the sweet spot. I think that's what your 8.25 plays 55. The other guy plays 27.
Yeah.
I think that's what it happens.
2/3, 1/3. That's
2/3,
the way
1/3.
it
I
goes.
think that's what you do. I think they did it actually perfectly, even though both goaltenders didn't amount to much.
Yeah.
That's what you should do. Korpisalo has never played more than 39 games in this season. And one time he did last year. And Ottawa couldn't wait to get rid of him after he played 55 games for them last year. And then, he has no, bearing to say that he should be a number 1 goaltender anywhere.
No, he doesn't have a leg to stand on. His stats are as bad as Swayman's are.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. His save percentage is like under 900. Like
it was 890.
That's not a
Sway's is
starting goalie.
893.
Yeah, it's not a starting goalie in the NHL.
Yeah.
Anything under 9 is not a starting goalie in the NHL. So
Correct.
he can bitch and moan all he wants. And yeah, I agree with Connor. He should bitch and moan somewhere else now. And I think they should sign Bussy and or DiPietro and have one of them back up Swayman next year and save a little money at the goaltender position. Now, I still believe that the Bruins do value the goalie position. So I don't think that shit's happening. I don't. Because I think they do value it and they do want a, professional or a veteran or some fucking bullshit with the goalie there. And they want to have somebody that has experience to back up Swayman, which I don't think you need anymore. I mean, Swayman's been in the league long enough. You have a number 1. You paid him like a number 1. So bring up a young kid, save a little money, and play the kid. And if you want to play Swayman more than 57, then do it.
Right.
You're paying him enough. Have him play fucking 65 if that's what you want to do now, and play DiPietro fucking 20 or whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, the buyouts aren't as bad. The cap hits aren't that bad. So I would consider it, and I would put DiPietro in there at whatever it is, $1 million for next year, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be something like that.
9 something.
Yeah, 975. $1 million.
Yeah,
$1 million too. I don't know. Like,
and you save $2 million on your goaltender position.
You could.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll spend it on another fucking fourth liners.
Yeah, they'll spend it on a fourth liner. Yeah. But DiPietro can't do any worse. He's not going to do worse than Korpisalo did. Korpisalo, like you said, was like 290 with an 890 save percentage. Like DiPietro could probably do that.
Sure, he can.
So Jesus, like, give the younger guy a go and send Korpisalo. I'm up for that. I mean, that should be the first move, to be honest. Especially if he's bitching.
Yeah, Michigan might don't buy him out, move him to Providence, and maybe someone will claim him.
Well, that too. Whatever. Send him down.
It's possible. They could try to pass him through waivers and see if somebody grabs him.
Yeah.
But sending him to Providence, you can only bury $1.25 million of the contract when they go down to Providence because of the CBA rules.
Yeah.
And next season, if he's bought out, they would save $2.5 million. The season after 1.7. The season after that 1.3. Which is the alleged 110 million season.
Yeah.
And then for the 3 seasons after that, it's 916 against the cap.
So it's always more of a benefit to buy him out.
Well,
in that scenario,
he's only in the books for like 2 more years, though, isn't he?
2 more. Yeah.
So,
but the buyouts, I think the buyouts go further, right?
It's 3 more years. It would be 3 more years, I believe. I'll double check.
Oh, 3 more years because they signed him when he had 4 years. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was.
I thought 3 more years.
I thought it was going into this year. It was 3 times 3.
I thought it was 3 times 4, but maybe I'm wrong. Jacob Jones, glad you called out Joe. His takes piss me off sometimes. I like Mike Collegio, though he has some good stories. He does. He's a good follow on X.
I like Mick.
I like Mick, and I like Mark Divers giving us some great Providence stuff and young guy stuff. I mean, he's been telling us about Farinacci.
He has been.
On the X and on our pod for a while. So I'm glad he got a chance and glad he scored.
Yeah, we're big fans of Diver.
Yeah, Diver was great.
Korpisalo does confirmed have 3 more years left on the contract. And all 3 years of those contract, he has a 10-team modified no trade list, which doesn't help the Bruins.
Mother of Christ. Okay. I don't know. Send him to fucking Winnipeg.
Buy him out. Fine. Buy him out.
Buy him out. I mean, just buy him out. Because look if he's going to bitch, then
they don't want him around anyway.
He's not worth it to bitch. Like, I'd rather buy him out. If he's going to bitch and be a fucking cancer, and have to listen to that all the time, and it's not warranted, then get out of my face. Like, honestly, it's not worth it. We don't need any more of that.
We need a goalie back that's going to hug Swayman.
No one's hugging Swayman right now because he's got his fucking thumb off his ass. So thank God he can't save a fucking lick because that goal went in overtime. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Because if the Bruins win that game, like Jesus, then Philadelphia has to win.
Yeah.
It's like Christ.
Who are they playing? We figured
Philadelphia's playing at Buffalo.
At Buffalo.
Yeah. So it's a chance. And Philadelphia's been playing well up until tonight. Tonight they lost to Columbus, but Columbus had everything to play for.
Yeah, they did.
So I don't know. Maybe Philly gets a win. They're certainly talented. They have some good young talent. Which team is
Lauko is hugging Swayman. That's true.
Lauko. Yeah, Lauk's
feeding him grapes like
I'll tell you, when we were at the Canadiens game, center ice in the warm-ups, it's Swayman doing his fucking aerobics, whatever the fuck he does, his fucking kumbaya bullshit. And Laux is right next to him.
Yeah.
It's Laux. Nobody else even looked at Swayman the entire time. I watched for 3 minutes straight.
Yeah.
No one even, tapped the pad, nothing. It was crazy. Which team is coming out of the East, says Joe? I say Toronto.
I'm going to go with, I don't know. I want to say Carolina, but I don't think it's going to be Carolina.
Okay.
I'll go with Washington. Why not? Whatever.
Okay. All right. Hasmic Sacco says, I'm grateful for the opportunity I had here. Being from area, it's special to have opportunity to coach here. I'm proud of the guys. They never quit right to the end. Posted by Ty Anderson. Sacco got a chance as a Medford kid to coach the Bruins.
Yeah.
I would assume he's gone.
Sounds
Unless, I mean, it seems like it. With that, the way he said that makes it look like that's in past tense.
Yeah.
EA Sports. Go fuck yourself.
Exactly. Thank you, Joe.
The next
Matthew
Bruins is going to be Jay Leach or Mike
Jay
Sullivan.
Leach. Yeah, I think it's going to be Jay Leach.
Or
If
Mike,
we won tonight, huh?
or Mike Sullivan.
Who does?
I do. It's going to be one of the two.
I think
Mike
it's going to be
Sullivan's
Leach.
be in the running. I think he
You
is.
think so? All
Yeah.
right. He might get an interview, but I think it's Leach. I think it's in the bag. It's in the bag.
Tampa Bay, Vegas. Tampa Bay could cause some problems.
Tampa Bay, Vegas. They could. I mean, they could. I mean, they have the pedigree. They
hasn't
have the
proven
goaltender.
Anything to me. I mean, I guess Washington really hasn't either, but
Yeah, I feel it's fairly open.
it is.
I feel it. I feel there's a lot of good teams, not great team. You know what I'm saying? There's no real wagon of a
Devils
team.
weren't missing Hughes.
They could be right there.
They could be right there.
Yeah,
They
sure.
could be.
If we won tonight, Seattle would have needed to win too. Yeah. So that was good. That who
Seattle?
scored the game winner? Was it Bratt? Who scored the
know.
game winner?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
even know. But the guy came right down the slot, wide the fuck open.
Yeah,
A guy before him did the same thing and didn't shoot. And I was yelling shoot to the opposing team. I was like, shoot it. And
Yeah,
he veered
that's-
off to the boards like Johnny Beecher.
When they scored in one, I was like, thank the good
Jesus
Lord.
Christ. Like, shoot it.
Brian Dumoulin wins it in OT.
Dumoulin, Biddeford's own. Biddeford, Maine. Brian Dumoulin.
What do you think his nickname is?
Dooms.
Dooms?
Doomsday.
Dooms? It's got to be Dooms, right?
Should be Doom. Should be Doom. Just
Doom.
Doom.
Doomy?
Yeah,
Dooms?
Doomy. Maybe it's Doomsday. I call him Doomsday. That's sick.
No,
For
that's too
defenseman.
long. It's too long.
Doomsday. No. Doom.
Yeah, it's
Is it
it's
Mooley? Well, it might be Mooley. Maybe it's Mooley. Moulin Rouge. Maybe it's Moulin Rouge.
I can confirm that Google has said his nickname is Dumo.
Dumo.
Dumo. I don't love that.
Dumo.
I don't love that.
It reminds me of like that stick Domo Arigato. Dumo. Dumo Arigato. Mr. Roboto.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. But Dumoulin went to I think he went to Bedford High School. I think he might be a I think he's from Biddeford. And I think he might have played like a hot second at Biddeford High. He's won what, 3 cups, 2 or 3 cups, right?
Yeah. Couple with the Pens, right?
He won at least 2, right? They won 2, right?
Pittsburgh
09 and yeah.
won more than 2.
They won more than 2 with Crosby like these years.
Oh, no. 2
I'm
with
pretty
Crosby.
sure they won 3 with Crosby overall.
Yeah, it might be 3 with Crosby, yeah.
Yeah, he might have been there the whole time. But I'm fairly certain he's one of those rare public school, at least for a hot second, kids from.
Jay Leach was bounced first round in Providence twice. No thanks.
Well, I'm with you. Like, you know that, and I know that.
Does Mike Sullivan have a cup win with Pittsburgh?
I believe 2.
2. So it was what's his fuck? It was Bilsma, right?
Bilesma and
Yeah.
Sully.
And then Sully twice. Okay.
So Sully's got a little cachet. He's got a little resume.
Yeah.
With Jay Leach. And he's got the McAvoy father-in-law thing.
Yeah. Okay. So great. So tell me. Okay. Like, I don't know. Here's the problem. I don't know what I'm looking for.
It's all in the family. It's always been all in the family.
It is.
Don't think it's gonna be,
still
you know,
will be.
Yeah. Of course it is. So it's going to be one of those fucking two clowns. And I'd rather have the guy that's won cups than fucking
what's the one time in our lifetime that they won the cup? Tell me the GM and head coach.
Peter Chiarelli and I don't know. I can't
remember. Julian.
Claude.
Okay. Those two guys were not in the family, were they?
Weren't. No.
Nope. So when they went outside the family, they won the cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So stop going inside the family, please.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Sullivan coached here though before, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he coached in the 90s or late 90s. Did he coach that? Fucking Anson Carter fucking team, whatever that was.
You still not put your fucking mic stand together?
No.
I was about to ask if you fucking didn't give him the new mic stand. You
I wanted to flop limp.
My fucking God. I bought the kid a goddamn mic stand on Amazon that looks like this.
Yeah. I got to figure out how to put it together.
For some reason, he can't put together.
Yeah.
It looked pretty put together when Smitty sent
together a fucking microphone stand. I put it together and then I disassembled it and put it back in the fucking box so I could give it to him. And I should have just left it.
The whole disassembling thing was the key.
Jesus fuck.
I'll have it done for the Benders off air. Okay.
Maybe B can help you.
Yeah. She's gonna have to. 0304 lost in the first round.
Matty first, putting a fucking mic stand.
Right. Putting the mic stand together.
We're gonna have to do that on the off-air show.
I'm gonna do that in the off-air show. I'm gonna take video of me putting it together.
A mic stand together.
Yeah. Sully 0304 lost in the first round. 0506 out of the playoffs, 29-37. So whoever the fuck, actually they had just traded Joe Thornton, right? I think around there, right? 03. Yeah, somewhere around there. 02. Yeah. So he made it once and then another. B is feeling better. She's got a little bit of a chest cold, but she had a stomach thing and then a chest cold, and it's just been like 10 days of misery, but she's feeling much better. Jay Leach was bounced in first round of Providence twice. Yeah, great. Sullivan inherited a defensively responsible team from Terrian and a good team with a crazy Jari. I remember his last year with Boston. I do remember the last year with Boston, 0506.
Yeah.
That was the year after the strike, I think, when they didn't have a season.
And Sullivan won the back-to-back Stanley Cups in Pittsburgh, his first two seasons, which is what Zach's
first two seasons. Yeah. And then lost round 2, lost round 1, lost in qualifying round, lost round 1, lost round 1, out of the playoffs. So the trend for him has always been to drive the team into the ground. So I don't know what he would do with a rebuilding squad.
Well, that's the trend with everybody, though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, everybody ends up. You get hired to get fired. So
in hockey, you have a shelf life.
Yeah,
and the message gets stale after
unless you're John Cooper.
After a length of time, I guess.
Yeah, I mean
they've been down. I think their GM has done a really good job of kind of reinvigorating that thing on the fly. Like they specifically target guys they think will fit their culture and their style of play, and doesn't matter what they have to pay, but that's the guys they go after, and they pay the price, and it works out for them. Like they did it with Brandon Hagel. They paid a shit ton for Brandon Hagel, but he's been great since he's been there because he fits in perfectly with that team.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
They target guys, and they don't care what they have to pay, but they get the guy they want, and then it fits. So they've done it. They did it with Gensel. They did it with Brandon Hagel. Like they let Stamkos walk. Like the GM is really good there and makes good decisions about the roster. And I think it puts Cooper in a good position to succeed. And they have, Vasilevsky, which doesn't hurt, and Hedman, which doesn't hurt.
No, that doesn't hurt.
What I think is interesting about John Cooper is he's lasted through 3 different GMs now.
Yeah.
In Tampa Bay, he's coached 13 seasons, only missed the playoffs 3 times. So he's outlasted most everybody else in the organization aside from the owner at this rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a very good coach. There's no denying that.
That's true. Benders off air needs to prioritize searching for T-Buzz, says Dan Maynard. I need to know what the fuck happened to that guy. Q Matty saying he's in Connor's basement. Yeah,
He is.
I mean, he is. You know, what we should do for the off air show is we should get like those raincoats with the hats and the fucking flashlights and just look around in different areas and be like, you see T-Buzz? Like bats fly out of the closet.
We should fly out to fucking Illinois or whatever and just walk around downtown Chicago. And you guys know T-Buzz?
Yeah.
That's a terrible idea to do that in Chicago.
Yeah, not in Chicago.
No, downtown Chicago in the right areas is very nice.
It is not anymore.
No, sure.
Yeah,
No.
Sure.
No.
it's all bad.
Yeah, it's gone to crap. Like I moved out here in 2016 and we would go every few months to like the Michigan Mile, Navy Pier and whatever. Now it's kind of all gone to shit. Now all the gang activities come down to the Magnificent Mile, all that shit. Not so hunky dory anymore. Not worth going.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta go to Rush Street, get the drink on.
Yeah.
Go to Wrigley Field, have some dogs and
Go
beer.
to Murphy's, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Go to Wrigley, have a ball.
Wrigley, sit in the bleachers, general admission, get a beer sling. It's literally a sling of beers.
Yeah.
And you just
Wrigley's
kill them.
fun. If you guys came to Chicago, I would go up for
On
some
a Friday afternoon at 2:00.
I had a great time.
Oh my God, I had an amazing time at Wrigley.
in the bleachers on a Friday afternoon.
Oh my God, Friday afternoon in the bleachers. So good.
And I got shit faced and came home and took a nap.
Yeah, it's kind of what would happen with us too. Zach K says you can't string T-Buzz a line corner. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. Hopefully he's back next year. I don't know. Well, we'll be back next year, I believe. God willing.
We'll be back
Never gonna stop.
tomorrow with a new episode.
We're gonna do a new episode tomorrow. We're gonna do a first Benders off air pretty friggin' soon.
Benders off air is I'm gonna fire that bitch up tomorrow too. I think
coming up soon, coming up shortly. ITR Plus by Inside the Rink. The QR code right there. Bruins Benders off air, all sorts of great content, including weekly episodes talking about just about anything but hockey, to be honest with you. Lots of laughs, lots of good times. So jump in and get bent with us. This is it. The last game of the regular season. Not the season any of us wanted, but the Bruins need the Flyers to get a point tomorrow, Thursday rather. And if they do, then the Bruins will be in the 4th draft position. If not, they'll be in 5th draft position. Bruins end with 76 points in a disappointing year. David Pastrnak, 43 goals, terrific year. Morgan Geekie, 33 goals in a contract year. And now we can talk for a whole offseason about what this team needs to do or will do. And we want to thank everybody for joining us all season long and continue to join us. Please watch the pods. We'll occasionally do a live episode here and there. Why not? You know, we'll throw it out there.
We're gonna hit some lives up during the playoffs. So
especially around draft time, free agency time, all of that. You know. Adrian says, "Thanks for making a horrible season fantastic." We appreciate you, Adrian.
Yeah,
been great.
Really
Everybody for bringing the sips.
We're gonna come out to visit real soon. We're
coming out to visit. We got to make a long list. Yeah.
Gonna watch some AAA baseball in Asheville.
Go up to Asheville, North Carolina. They still have the ACC tournament there.
I have no idea.
Or something.
Everybody wants us to find T-Buzz. T-Buzz better fucking check in pretty soon.
He better.
Jesus.
I'm getting nervous. Yeah, I'm getting nervous. I don't know. Did he eat some bad lamb or something? I don't know. He had too much bourbon.
Yeah, maybe he had too much of the bourbons.
Hopefully he's okay.
Deep dish pizza took him out.
Maybe he's a born again Christian. He can't watch our pod anymore. I don't know. Maybe religiously he can't do it.
We're gonna have to say sorry T-Buzz from now on.
Yeah, sorry T-Buzz. Yeah. Maybe we'll do a hashtag where's T-Buzz.
Where's T-Buzz? That's a good one.
We'll do that. Yeah. And thank you, Dan, and our flower garden. Florida Garden.
Thank
Bruins 1970, everybody.
Yeah, we really
joining us.
All of you, honestly.
Yeah,
we really do.
It's been really great. Tampa has had some great players for a while. Cooper should have succeeded. I want a new coach, not of the staff. Next year we'll be better. Go Bees. Thanks for the content. Thanks, Mick. And thanks everybody. So we'll sign off here. It's been a long season, but a good one with you folks. And join us throughout the off season. Until next time, as always, go Bruins.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.